we're live. Hello. I'm in a
Hi.
weird position. Normally,
Hello.
I'm blocked off from the rest of the
Yeah, who
rest of
let
the
you
crew.
out of your box?
How'd you get up there?
I broke out. I broke out of my cage.
That's it. That's it.
But for our opening message, I will give you Cap.
Oh God. Oh, there's a. Okay.
No
Hi. No cap with Cap. I guess we'll do a truncated version. Greetings, fellow humanites. We are this is an unrelated one shot. This is a non-continuity one shot that we're going to be running tonight because the long-term plan. Right. Well, the plan of indeterminate length term currently is to Winter Soldier this channel at the moment. We're going to put it on ice for a little bit, work out the bugs, work out the kinks, let certain things in life settle themselves out and resolve. But we will be continuing to play on Saturdays. We're going to move onto the other side of the duplex. We're all in one building, but we're currently going to close and maybe lock the door a little bit on this side. The Versal Plane is where we will be playing on Saturdays and potentially other days, Fridays. I think some of the stuff will get moved over there also. But I guess that's the real keeping of the house, since we're we're packing and moving from one bedroom to another.
Correct.
It's like when the kids.
I'm crashing on the
it's like
couch.
yeah, it's like when you let the kids kind of get the sense of like, oh, we're moving, because you let them like trade bedrooms. So you're like, you have to pack all of your toys and things, and now move down the hall. And
I will say the
Yep.
names of everybody's images are really messed up and wrong.
oh, there's some like
yes.
overlap on the text. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it looks like they're both up at the same time, I think. Apparently, I'm Lazarus also right now. Hey, now I'm just ScreenCap.
I'm not quite sure how to see all this, to be honest.
Oh, and
That
there
should
we
be
go.
fixed now.
You'd have to be over on the. If you were on Twitch, like I see, I have a second laptop. I have a camera too, and that has the
Aren't you
Twitch
fancy?
stream up. No.
Mm.
I have my phone
Yeah.
up for the
You know what?
chat.
I do have the
There you go.
Twitch thing. I'm just not on there often. Let me pull up the Twitch thing.
So I can collect channel points.
Yes, and as far as Mountain of Mystery goes, we are putting that on just a temporary hiatus through the holidays, being as a lot of people have very differing schedules due to travel and work and all other kinds of things. So we figured it would just be easier for us to do one-shots through the holidays. That way, anybody who is available can play, and there's, nobody has to miss out on lore and all that kind of stuff if they can't make it. So once all the holidays are over, we'll pick up with Mountain of Mystery again, and get back to that normal chaos. So yeah.
You guys just wait till I run my Krampus one shot.
Oh
That
boy.
sounds
Don't be
fun.
Krampus in my style, man.
That's right. That's right.
Alrighty.
Amazing.
Is there anything else?
No,
I don't think so.
Alright,
not for
then-
me.
Then we can get into the story, which would be great. Our fearless adventurers here of varying sorts and sizes have, for one reason or another, traveled to the city of Silverheart. Silverheart, in this world, is known for being of particularly low crime. No murders, no extortion rings, or anything like that. Maybe some petty theft. As such, one might call the constabulary as being perhaps lax. They don't really see the things that one might see in a city of this size, which is odd, but enjoyed by all of the citizens of the city. And we will work through our characters here. ScreenCap. You are playing.
I'm playing Ptony. He's a blue. He's about 3'9", I think he might have been different heights and different times. 3'9" dragon, otherwise known as a kobold. And he's not carrying weapons. I think he does have his staff. He's got a staff, but he's dressed like a monk. But he's a barbarian. And he's very entertaining, which is why he has the entertainer background. I was gonna say his most prized possession, but it's not his favorite item to travel with is this 7'11" tall Goliath lady right here.
And that leads us on to our next individual.
Hi.
Introduce yourself to them.
I'm Nimue,
Right.
and I am playing Scarlett, who is a 7'11" Goliath with very beautiful, like flaming red hair, a big scar across her face, and she has the outlook and curiosity and mind of a 10-year-old because of very tragic circumstances that led her to raising herself like from the age of 10 by herself in the woods with no one else around. So yeah, until she found this little guy, and they went adventuring together.
Hey,
Excellent.
uppies.
Puppies.
Picks him up, puts him on her back.
There we go. All right.
So next we'll move on to Alix. Alix, who is joining us in the city?
So, I will be playing Ari. They are about a 5'3", androgynous, kind of strange-looking elf. They don't look like your typical, wood elf or anything like that, or high elf. Who is just wearing a simple cape with leather armors, and walks with a staff. Hari does not speak very much, mainly in like grunts, gestures, occasionally the one or two words to get what she needs, but that's about it. Yeah, she really likes books.
All right. So next, probably we're kind of going in order of how recent you've arrived to the city. Next, we'll go with Eva unit. Who have you brought us today?
I've brought you an old hand at the bounty hunting game. My name is Snoke. Listen, I learned some things from the underworld, some ways to move around, but I try to work within the law, keep myself on the up and up, and maybe make sure that others do the same, otherwise they run afoul of me. Hard to find work around this city, though, so,
Alrighty. And then the one who's probably been here the longest, Himbo. Can you introduce us, please?
Good evening. I am Trikotis Kolos, a 5'8" ginger-bearded satyr bard with a eloquent word, a sharp wit, and a cunning linguist, if I do say so myself.
There he is.
With a lute on my hip, a lyre to my side, a handful of other instruments as well, and I think I have a rapier in one of these pockets.
Who's the liar?
Here we go.
Wait,
So
I'm a barbarian, not a jokester.
So, all of you, in one way or another, have come across a notice from the where did we go? From one of the head officials as far as the constabulary goes, the Inspector General Dario Cavanati. And you'll notice hit on various message boards, whether it be from an inn for Trico, at Maryland's bunkhouse, or for Ptony and Scarlett, they've seen something similar to this, which brought them here, seeking adventure. And with what was his name? Stoke, this kind of piqued your interest because, I mean, this area isn't very rife with crime and searching for people. This is probably the most interest-piquing thing in the city at this moment in time. And then for Ari, your searches haven't gone so well as far as looking around in town. So the top guy as far as keeping the law in these parts kind of interests you. So all of you read that this individual is looking for people that have skills beyond, your average, baker or shopkeeper, but it doesn't say what. With their ominous take, it adds to the mystery of it. It adds to the interest. All of you find yourself through whatever directions. Probably the easiest one to find your way to the central district, as it highlights up. Trico probably has the easiest time because he's been here the longest. He's been around the streets a little bit and plying his trade. So the central garrison. That's not good. It's not coming up.
I don't know where my token thingy is to move
So
it.
there is no token on this map.
Okay, cool.
So the central district is right in the center. You can see it highlight up. If you hover over any of these, it'll highlight the district that we're going to. And the central garrison.
The district in the center.
Exactly. They made it easy for people.
I'm likely coming from the Silver District.
I was in this town one time where the central district was all the way on the west end of the city. This was a very poorly planned center.
If you were staying at Maryland's bunkhouse, that was in the warehouse district.
Sorry.
The Silver Billet is in the Silver District, as one might guess. So I don't have a map for the central garrison. However, as you enter, you find a scene of a large arching, almost completely circular desk in the center of the building, of the first floor. Behind said desk, there are about probably 3 individuals wearing a kind of a medium gray uniform and a silver badge on them. They're milling about. It's actually fairly noisy. People coming in and issuing complaints about neighbors, and somebody's too loud, and my cat's lost. Just they're trying to do the best they can. You can see that they're not particularly interested in finding lost cats and coordinating between irate neighbors on who's the loudest. but they're handling it, and they're doing it with a smile on their face. To the left-hand side, you will see a locked, basically a stairway, but it's encased in a cage. One might guess that those leads to more secure areas, potentially cells. Who knows? So far, nobody has ended up there. On the right-hand side is a stairway. It's more kind of a metal grate type stairway leading up to a hallway where there appears to be some doors and offices. And as let's do a roll for everybody. Let's have a do a sort of initiative roll. We'll use that for this to see who makes it there first on this day.
I might be taking my time. After all, you should not move too much on a heavy breakfast.
There you go.
Who'd you eat for breakfast?
I believe her name
One
was
does
Eileen.
not kiss and tell.
Hey, he didn't just kiss, okay? That was it's fine. Everything's fine.
That's
Tony,
not
what did
close
you
to
get?
finding the mayor's son on my own, but
Tony got
Forgot.
it. Good.
I got a 15. What do you got it? What are you talking? I'm just walking around.
I got this many.
Five,
Oh,
He tried-
5,
He-
15, 20.
he
So
only has
I'll
four-
average it
he
out
has
to
4
10. You're
fingers on
kind of
each hand.
corral.
They had that one of the first times they encountered each other. Tony and I almost said Tony and Tina. Holy shit! Tony and Scarlett had a discussion about the fact that she has 5 fingers and he has 4 on each hand, and so he is used to base 8 and she's used to decimal.
There you go. I like that. So
I got
I'll
this
average Tony's rollout with Scarlett's to about 10.
Okay.
So the first one to make it there is Ari.
Oh, shocker.
So you get into town. You see that for the day. I'm guessing perhaps your arrival into the city. Your search has led you in and then back out again. Your surroundings are typically aren't as packed with people as they are trees and animals. So you try to avoid staying in the city proper.
Yeah.
Shortly after you step through the door, Trico and Snoke, you guys get there pretty much at the same time. And
hey, buddy.
seeing the whole
again.
the scene as it was laid out, and then bringing up the back is Tony trying to corral Scarlett onto their mission after collecting
She has about
their payment
But-
from the
but look
caravan
at
that
this.
they came with.
This stuff's so cool. I want to look in this shop.
Yeah, she's totally got like 4 different food things that we've gotten from each of the different trucks, because she's like, or each of the different carts. She's like, I want to try this. We're gonna, yep, get it. We'll try it. Totally, absolutely. It's always good to have snacks for the road.
Mhm.
Well,
And
someone's
one of you
eating
two
well.
can roll me a d6.
Go for it, Scarlett.
Okay.
We believe in you.
1.
One.
We
So
believe
you
in
guys
you.
got 10 gold from the caravan.
Hey, there you go.
It was a bit of a long trip, and they kind of felt bad trying to haggle with Scarlett, but they were also at the same time terrified to go any lower.
Because if you go lower, you're gonna get to me, and I'm not very good at negotiating.
Or math from the sounds of it.
you get past 3'5", 3'4", 3'3", 3'2". Holy shit! Who is this? Yeah. Now you got to deal with me.
All right.
It's all right. It'll be fine.
So, as you're collecting in, you kind of fall in line with the rest of folks, and eventually, one of the individuals is freed up from dealing with the everyday shenanigans inside the central garrison. So he finishes writing something and he just kind of motions up next.
If given the opportunity, I would like to slowly slide my way between people to move up as quickly as possible. Chatting up as
You
I
guys,
go.
Is there one of those flyers posted inside the area we're in?
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to be more specific.
Or sorry,
Flyers?
the posters that you said that were up for like the help wanted thing that we had.
Oh, you're talking about the Inspector General's notice.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
that.
gotcha. Yeah, he is up in his office. Um, if you he'll meet with a group of you at a time, so he doesn't have to explain it. That's what he's done in the past. So he looks up and around. And he goes, "Anybody looking to meet with the Inspector General?"
Does that have anything to do with that trepidatious memoir I had seen earlier?
I'm sorry. You're tripping on what?
I am merely looking for a prospect in where I can apply my skills.
Oh, you're here for the Inspector General too. Gotcha.
I
How
think
many of
we
you
all
do we
are.
got?
Arisha's gonna raise her hand.
I think we were here to look for the cat, right? There's a missing cat. That's what I heard. No,
That
we'll
sounds
find the
about
cat
right.
later.
Scarlett's licking her fingers from the food she's been eating. So, us. I think
All right.
we're here for that.
So there's what, 5 of y'all? All right. Just head up the stairs to the right there. It's in the door, all the way at the end of the hall there. Just give a knock and he'll call you in when he's ready.
So hurry up and wait. Got
Nothing
Welcome to
new.
my life.
it. I like him. He said 5. Usually they look at a group and they say 4.5 because of me. But
And he's like,
Or
"Oh, I was talking about the one behind you." Okay.
Don't worry,
I
I
would
can
like-
make up for a man and a half on my own.
I would like to rage, but I'm not going to waste that resource right now.
So you are offered the path up the stairs.
I'm gonna start walking to the stairs.
Alrighty. You make it through all the way there just fine. It's a little over a story. The whole center part of this building is open, and there's windows up above that let in natural light for the day into the internal part of the central garrison. So between that and they have lamps in the darker portions to kind of get all the shadows out of the room. Heading up the stairs, you pass a couple of about three doors till you get to the very last one on the end, and you see Inspector General, and you have his name right below that, and it's kind of chiseled into the door, along with a solid metal emblem of his position.
Hot.
Scarlett looks at it and just taps on Tony's shoulder. What does it say?
It says Spectre General. Oh, Inspector General. I guess he's in. This is 3 doors down. That sounds like a great name for a band. What is his name? Dorian Axios? Something like that?
Provenanti. I'll
Yeah.
post it in here.
It's very Italian. See, I have many thoughts now. I'm like, yeah, honestly,
There we
I
go.
wouldn't be surprised if he's also a dragon because I'm Tony Fibonacci and he's Darian Paniccioni.
Venanti.
Maybe you're related.
Could be. I got a big family.
For the audience, I will take a moment saying there is a scene coming up that involves self-harm. So if you wish to step away for a minute or so while it is dealt with in character, I'm going to give you that option to do that.
Let me check my character sheet here.
We'll let you know in chat when the scene is over.
Yep. So if you want to mute or just watch the chat, and that, in case anybody is upset by that, which is understandable. So we will move on. You don't
I'm gonna
hear
tap
any
on
voice.
the nameplate directly.
And as you listen, give me. You guys can. Anybody that's up by the door, give me a perception check. Ooh.
Ayo.
Where's my stuff? Perception.
Ooh.
It's a grungy 20.
18 for me.
18.
1 second. I'm still trying to figure out how to work this fully.
That's okay.
Can you roll it off of
Should-
your character sheet on here?
You should just
Should
be
be
able
able
to click
to.
on it.
I thought I did. Let me try it again. Because it didn't do it.
So if you click on it, it should open up a window. You can there we go. Awesome. And Stoke.
Let's see.
Or were you hanging
Where
back?
am I? I'm trying to figure out where my perception is.
Should be right below, right above performance.
I popped out the thing.
I can't accept my perception.
I can't perceive myself.
You cast invisibility. Okay, so this is a question. If you cast
Alright.
invisibility on yourself, can you see yourself?
No.
Leave you, here's what we're gonna do.
Me and my boys are gonna fuck you up.
I rolled a 1.
I rolled
Fuck.
one.
Okay.
So
okay.
as you're at the door, you hear the sound of something thudding. Will it sound like furniture on the floor, and then a loud kind of sliding squeak of like wooden furniture against a wooden floor. It's quite abrupt. Both
Yeah.
Trico and Ari
Sounds like someone's being
and
attacked.
Tony.
I'm
Can
gonna
I
try the doorknob.
I was gonna
One
say,
of them is
can I
unlocked.
or ram it
Shove the door open.
Rearranging furniture. Let's go help.
together. Push.
So, as you open the door, you're greeted with the scene. It's kind of dark and dingy, and the drapes are drawn. The pungent odor of stale air and booze is almost tangible. And a man once well put together looks now disheveled, stands atop his chair behind his desk, and his head is going through a rope. As you are coming through the door, the rope is strung to the rafters,
Can I catch
and you can let's see.
Perfect. It's
Are
a
you
cord.
going for the rope or going to talk to him?
Talk to him.
All right.
Excellent. Yeah, you go talk to the dummy. I'm gonna cast Sorcerer's Burst. At
What's
the rope.
that?
It's apparently an acidic.
Oh,
I'm gonna cast
is
Calm
like-
Emotions on Dorian. Or Dorio.
okay.
There we go.
Go ahead and let's see here.
Let's see how bad of a shot I take. Watch me nat 1 and hit him in the face.
That would suck.
I'm gonna
What's
aim
the save
high.
on your calm emotions?
15.
Ooh. So, what are you saying to him? Well,
Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out.
alrighty. And that was an attack on the rope.
Yeah, that was the 6 on the attack on the rope. I rolled
Wow.
a 2, so it was a nat 1, but like that, the very tall bard is getting in, and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't have a good line of sight here. I'm like 3 foot.
You hit like right next to the rope, up by the rafter, and he locks eyes with Trico for a moment, and he's like, I've had enough. I And as he's talking, the chair actually teeters and slips, leaving him dangling.
I'm gonna jump on. Ari's gonna jump onto the desk where he's like that's close to
Mhm.
where he's at, right? And start cutting at the rope with the sickle she has.
Make an attack roll.
And Scarlett is going to run and grab the guy and just like lift him up.
Did that work?
Okay.
Tony's gonna close the door to the office. Nobody else needs to know about this. We'll
So,
sort this out.
He's actually struggling with Scarlett a bit. He's like, you don't understand, but he's talking, so you can hear him, and so you've relieved the pressure.
Mhm.
And
Does a 10 hit?
oh yeah, 10 hits the rope. Just
I do need to know though.
what
if
is
he
your
all
what
the,
is your modifier for
me?
your damage?
Um, that's a great,
Okay,
amazing question. What's that?
it's a dex weapon.
I believe so. Yes.
All right, give go ahead, roll damage on that.
It's there's no modifier on it from what I'm seeing.
Gotcha. Oh, it must be a strength one then.
It's melee, and it doesn't say that it's finesse. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Go ahead, click on that damage roll real quick.
Okay. That is I think it's a 1d4.
Tony's an interesting.
You should just
head
be able to
in.
click on it in chat, in the chat window. The damage.
Oh, I see. Okay. 2.
So, fun thing with Tony's attack previously, on top of the little bit of cutting, the acid has kind of spread along the rafter a bit, and your cutting puts enough pressure on it, and it actually doesn't cut or break where you're cutting it. It breaks up top, so the whole rope falls.
we go.
Himbo, you were saying,
yes,
asking a question?
yeah, I do need to know if he failed his charisma saving throw.
He
Because
passed by one.
Okay. If he did, I'd have to choose between a couple things, but that's fine.
He's very upset.
So,
He refuses
but-
to be.
as the rope breaks, you feel more of his weight come down on you, Scarlett. As he's freed from his bindings.
Does he?
I rolled
look- Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say I rolled a dirty 20 for my strength. Just
Okay,
to
yeah, you-
preemptively to see how well she was holding on to him.
You got him. He doesn't fall out of your arms, but the chair is tipped over backwards. You're kind of in between the desk and the chair at this point, with Ari standing on the desk, and then you hear him coughing a bit, as one might, and he's like, "Just let me down, let me down."
Sorry.
I look
we
at
don't let
I look at Tony like,
We don't let anybody down. Oh, he means put him on the floor. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, you know what? Lay him down on the floor. Just lay him down. Lay him down real quick.
I'll do what Tony says.
Alrighty, so
Appreciate it.
he kind of scrambles out of your grasp, but almost trips a bit. You can see he's got bags under his eyes. Normally, Looking at him, looks like a clean-shaven individual. Um, he's actually a kind of a medium blue tiefling with white horns that kind of head up and then curl around almost like a halo. Um, his uniform is kind of disheveled, unbuttoned where the jacket would be, and he looks like an absolute mess. His hair is all mussed. He kind of stumbles back and he's leaning against the wall between two windows in his office, rubbing his neck and kind of just shaking his head.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over to this fella. Now
I'm
look,
gonna attempt to cast Charm Person on him since Calm Emotions didn't seem to be helpful.
Okay.
Another DC 15, but this time it's a Wisdom saving throw instead of Charisma.
Okay. Oh, he fails that bad.
All right. Unless we do anything harmful to him, he will regard us as friendly acquaintances.
His emotional harm
Yeah.
count.
Yeah. As he's rubbing his neck, he kind of looks up. He's like,
What about financial?
takes a
Hey,
deep breath,
buddy, where you been? What's going on? Just talk to us.
and does a double take. He's like, oh, hi. I've had some rough times lately, and all of the avenues that I've taken to get a problem solved have come up nothing. I haven't seen anything like this in all my years as a constable here in the city, and now it's all being laid at my feet. If I don't get this solved, I'm done for.
Oh, you inherited a problem that wasn't originally yours, and now you're cleaning up the mess. That sounds familiar. Well, temporary problems don't often call for permanent solutions, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna find...
As you're close and talking to him, he smells like a bottle of scotch, a bottle of vodka, and a couple bottles of whiskey all in one. He's
well,
been
I'll be-
drinking hard.
You're making me more hungry, but I'll take care of that later. Oh, it smells like victory. Well, victory for us. So yeah, this is the guy with the thing, with the problem. And from what I know, at least the two of us, we like problems because we solved them. But look, you're a tiefling. I'm also blue. I'm blue D. I'm blue die.
He kind of looks at you a second, and he's about to say something, but he stops. He's like, I apologize for meeting you in such a state. He tries to straighten his uniform a little bit and kind of do up a couple of the buttons. And he's like, I'm at my wit's end. I'm afraid it's good that you're here, though.
You tried
And-
to tie a full Windsor. You don't have the material for a full Windsor. We're going to do a half Windsor. Here, I got you. Don't worry about it. We'll fix it.
All right, and he just kind
You
of,
keep talking. Keep talking.
perhaps it's not, or perhaps not all hope is lost. I am Inspector General Dario Covenanti, and he looks to each of you, and he looks to his desk where looks like a recently used glass and a bottle that's not quite empty yet, but then he looks away. He's like, clears his throat a bit, and he bends to pick up his chair, set it right. He's like, if you want, I can explain the situation.
Yes.
There's
well,
several
what's troubling
seats in
you?
the
You're
in the room if you wish to sit.
Yeah, I think an explanation would be appreciated.
Ari's gonna
Scarlett sits on the
silently
floor.
stand.
You're in a company of friends.
Ari's just silently gonna sit in a seat in the corner of the room.
I'm going to stand because when I stand and everyone else sits, it looks like I'm sitting too. So it's okay.
So he pulls his chair up to his desk again and sits, and he looks at the bottle, and he opens the drawer and puts it back down into the drawer, and he tips the glass back real quick, finishing the little bit that's left in there. And he clears his throat a little bit. Well, you see, the past few months, citizens have been disappearing. We haven't had anything like this happen. Most of the time, folks are like, "Oh, so and so just ran off with a lover," or, they went and sought out new business ventures. But it's happened too many times to be a coincidence. So we didn't have the resources for tracking and things like that. It's been probably 50 to 75 years since we've had anything remotely in this vein happen. So I reached out first to a retired adventurer in the city, a Dragonborn. He's known. He teaches some classes to folks. His name is Gundahar Rider. He's brass Dragonborn, and some folks might, out of character wise, some might find that familiar. So he came back, and he wasn't able to get very far. So he gave me some notes and turned it back over to me. So I continued to try to find individuals. I sent out flyers for adventurers from neighboring cities, and took other means to try to find individuals to solve this problem. Things have gotten worse since then. So I have since... Well, that's the main point. If anybody wants to roll an insight check, they may. If they want to get more.
I'm glad we got a druid.
Oh, don't be too glad about that.
I'm glad we got
I
a
was-
log.
Not one of the ones that I clicked for the bonus. Oof.
Scarlett's a little distracted.
Snoke
busy.
and Trico, you both can see that there's more, but it's not it's more embarrassing for him than anything. It's not perhaps directly related to the situation per se.
Okay.
If you want to get more information, you can try intimidation or persuasion.
I mean, this was a dude who was literally just about to finish the job himself. How are you going to intimidate him?
Yeah.
Psycho's just sitting in front of him, like,
We're gonna share
chin on
your
his
internet history
hand.
with everyone.
And he is charmed, by the way, so if you roll persuasion, I'll give you advantage on that.
All right.
Oh damn.
Oh. All right. Tell me how you persuade him.
I'm just gonna walk. I'm just gonna stand up and like lean forward, put a hand on his shoulder. Listen. Clearly, things have gotten out of hand and a little bit outside of your wheelhouse, and that's okay. We're here to help, but we need to know everything. Otherwise, we don't know what details might be important and what aren't. What if you What if you decided not to tell us something and it ended up being the key to the entire deal?
He nods a bit. It's like, all right, well, this can't get out. Absolutely cannot.
Absolutely. I'll take it to the grave. I know you will too.
I've gone so far as to try to contract the Black Raven and Snoke. You would be familiar with this name. He is the head of a rather infamous thieves guild from probably the next closest city, probably one of the places you came from. The Black Raven turned him down. He flat out refused me, and I only reached out to him because the most recent person that has gone missing was the fiance to the mayor's son.
And there is an audible intake of air.
Yeah. So where did we go here?
Now, I have a request for information of my own.
Okay.
How many? Before I can even attempt to take on such an arduous task that you are truly in need of help on, we will need information on everyone and everything. How many people went missing? What class they reside in? What location they reside in? Their age, their race, their sex. Every tiny detail matters. What color is their hair? If you don't have all that information, what have you been doing this whole time?
We have a great bit of information. He lists off individuals, and what you're gathering quickly is the only district. Well, they've come from nearby the Temple district, though nobody has really been taken from there. But every other district, including the central one, people have just disappeared from. They've left stores or shops at various times of the day, and they just haven't gotten back to where they were going. They've been both citizens and visitors to the city.
Ari's gonna like slightly raise their hand, just gesturing for the man's attention.
And he's like, yes?
Have any animals gone missing?
No. Not that I mean, other than like cats, but those are run off. They always turn back up. Nothing has gone. No animals have gone missing that haven't returned yet.
Have they been
that
acting
I'm aware
strange?
I'm not. What do you mean strange?
Walking on two legs, like, speaking common.
Avoiding people that they normally don't avoid, or just...
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Any new animals show up?
I don't know how you would figure that out. Nobody's reported any, like, no additional sheep or no additional horses or anything like that.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And why would they? An extra animal for free seems like a steal if you don't report it to the government.
Yes, but you would notice if all the birds just disappeared one day.
Indeed. But
birds
nothing of that extent has gone.
Birds aren't real.
Birds are conspiracy. No.
Constructs by the higher class.
It's
No,
the
no,
monarchy trying to keep tabs on everybody. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
You're a
damn
very
it.
confusing man. think.
So there's this whole guild of artificers, and they invented these things called drones, right? And they we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Birds are real.
You sound like one to
I'm
think the
sure
absent
they're.
mind doesn't
I'm
exist
sure
either.
they are.
Yes, they're totally real.
I have a point of concern.
I feel like you don't
Well-
believe me.
While all this is happening, Scarlett's sitting there like really nervous, like playing with part of her shirt. She's not saying anything, but she's in her mind. She's like, But I've talked to them. I know they're real.
Hey,
Do you
listen,
speak with
Bird-
animals?
Birds have to be real. How do you explain Cancun?
I've talked to them as well. They're real.
I am absolutely not going to allow Tony to become a conspiracy theorist because that's too easy.
Um,
Oh,
Birds are
there's no
entirely
such
real, unlike the moon.
thing. Birds are not real. Birds are all just wild-shaped druids.
Anyways,
You're like, I unexpectedly don't have a good response today. It's very strange.
you're right.
Let's be careful. If you do psychic damage to him, it breaks my spell. It breaks my spell too.
That's
Scarlett will ask though, like she's just kind of sitting there like listening to everybody, and she's gonna pipe up and just be like, has anybody important died recently? Even if they didn't like, even if someone close to them didn't disappear.
No, gods, I hope not. I'm hoping that there hasn't been any ransom yet for the girl, but I realize that's pretty dire. Normally, a ransom would come out. Her parents are the ones who brought in the concern.
They
And
reported her missing.
once the mayor heard, he sent me a letter saying if she's not found, I will be held responsible, and I will all of the other individuals that have gone missing will be added to that docket. So
there's a dick. God.
So,
what
All right.
what I'm offering you in this job, 75 gold each to solve this. Whether you find where she ended up, where she's going, if it's outside of the city, any word, especially for her. But if you can find anything on all of these individuals, I want to be able to provide information to their loved ones. I mean, they come back and talk to me nearly daily, and it's almost unbearable.
I tell you what, I little bit of a counteroffer. 75 sounds good, but you're talking about us tracking down leads for you regarding a lot of missing people, and one of them being pretty high profile. We're gonna need a little bit of the shiny metal to maybe loosen some lips on the way. So why don't we make it an even 80 each, and you can throw in the five for each of us now to use as business expenses.
Roll me a persuasion check, and since he's still charmed for you guys, yeah, you can roll that with advantage.
It's a business. It's a tax write-off.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 14 with advantage.
He looks, and he holds up a finger. He opens the drawer that didn't have his booze in it, and he takes out small coins, each of them bearing the emblem of the inspector. And he's like, these, he has 3 of them. These will give you a favor of up to 10 gold, whether it be a shop, whether it be an inn. It's known that if they turn this in to me, they will get paid.
That's useful, at least to anyone that would be willing to come to you. Still, it'll have its uses.
Well, anybody in the city knows that, or they'll be able to easily find out that if they return this to me, that they will get compensated.
I like that. I like the system you've got here.
Scarlett,
I-
this is called the mafia. Go ahead, sorry. It's fine.
He clears his
Honestly,
throat. He's like, "We don't have mafia here."
No, mate, no.
There is
Poor
no war
birds.
in Bossing, say.
Now, I don't know about those around me, but I might need more than one of those, simply because I am more affluent than those here, and I might have ties close
Hey!
enough to get me to the mayor's son directly.
Oh, I think he stole them.
Hey,
Oh,
I
if-
resemble that remark.
If you wouldn't mind passing me an additional coin, it would get us much farther along. And I can return both to you directly.
Give me another persuasion roll.
Could I roll
Insert
deception?
Again,
rude gesture at the
advantage.
slight.
Could I roll deception instead of persuasion? Because I am lying about the mayor's son.
Oh,
Either way, yeah, if you're lying about it.
he knows the man's
yeah.
son. He actually probably knows the fiance. See, Scarlett, this is actually way worse and messier than like when we fought the Bahirs or we fought the Aboleths or all the monsters. I would rather fuck around with monsters all day long than people's family bullshit.
Oh, see, I agree with him. Monsters are way easier to deal with.
Animals
you know
are
what they're
better.
gonna do. Monsters and animals, they'll go right for the throat. A person will stab you in the back.
But
So
that's
he,
29.
you asked for an additional coin for yourself,
Yes.
and he's like, that might help. So he passes one to you. So recommendations. You might be able to pick Gundahar's brain a little bit.
I was going to.
Or you can talk to the girl's parents. They're staying at the Silver Billet,
I have
There's-
another question.
or the mayor, and or his son.
What you got?
And you had another question?
Do you know if the girl was excited about getting married?
They seemed amicable. They'd been, her parents and the mayor and his late wife. They've been friendly for ages, since before their kids were born. They grew up together.
Wanted some.
Kind of the girl's parents. They would frequently visit. She didn't seem adverse from all reports. There was no outbursts or anything like that. And she had attended one of the parties that. Well, there was a kind of an engagement party, celebration that the mayor's son had set up, and a bunch of merchants and things of that nature. They all had a great time, and she got into her carriage, and she went presumably back to the inn.
Okay,
How late is
thank
the
you.
mayor's wife?
Well, you know what happens when
Very
you're,
late.
you're usually incorrect.
Yeah. Honestly, Gundahar's probably the one to talk to because the mayor has personal investment in this, and the girl's mothers and parents have personal investment in this. Gundahar's the one to get the truth from because he has no personal investment in this.
Inspector.
Trico, roll me a history check. Oh, jeez, Pete.
Dirty
I'm
20.
gonna have to change out your digital dice. Crying out loud.
Wait, you can do that?
I would like you to know that my initiative, where I rolled an 11,
Uh-huh.
the die rolled a 2.
God
So
damn.
You
Well, low
make
anyway.
dice.
Oh,
Why are you
shit.
rolling digitally?
Because all of my dice I need to finish. They're not ready to be shipped out yet. They don't have numbers.
Excuses.
His D20 only has 17 sides right now.
Funny you say that. I'm actually working on a 17-sided die.
Yeah.
I, mm,
So,
And I
Trico,
told
you
17.
know that the mayor's son is a big partier. He throws lots of parties nearly every weekend.
Yes.
For friends, people of his age group,
Still
people
trying to
he
find
can
one of those.
influence and stuff like that.
I I don't trust
You
them.
also know from rumor around and working in the circles that you have that if he is kind of sucked up to enough, he becomes very friendly.
Would I have any
Define
knowledge
friendly.
on when the last party he held was?
Defines up to.
You would know that it was this past weekend.
Hmm.
The last party he had, the one this last weekend was the engagement party,
Oh,
which
yeah.
he organized and stuff like that.
And so that was the last time the fiance was seen, was this previous weekend?
Yep.
How long ago was the
On the
previous
carriage.
weekend, by the way? Because it could be
I'm
Friday
get-
for all I know.
I'm gonna say it's so it probably happened Saturday, Sunday time frame. It's like Tuesday.
Okay, so very recent. Gotcha.
Yeah. And as far as how friendly, he will barter favors freely, and if treated appropriately, he gets kind of loose with the lips, and he might let stuff slip. So he's embarrassed his dad more than once by blabbing
Oh,
at a
I
party.
like him already. Like, I didn't like him, and now I do like him because from what I've been told, his dad's a fucking douchebag. So
The son is extremely arrogant.
oh, I like him less.
Yes, but the arrogant tend to be easy to persuade when you remind them of their roots.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, people I don't like can absolutely be easily manipulated. You just got to know which key to wind.
I guess I'm curious, did he want to get married? Was he excited?
He
Probably
seemed to
for
be. He
another
threw the
youth
party.
Yeah, but he sounds like the type of person that throw a party just cuz, you know?
He's rich. She's rich. Together, they're more rich. That seems to be up his alley.
Something
Excuse
to keep
me.
in
Sorry.
mind I've found in my experience.
Please keep that slip private.
What's lit?
Thank you.
Something I found in my experience, in my circles, is that even those of affluent nature tend to cave to their carnal desires whenever they wish, and those that have such influence don't seem to suffer any repercussion for it neither.
Is there anything else you need from me?
Yeah.
Need.
Is there anything in common between all of the people that have been missing? Anything that you may have noticed? Whether it be
With them?
whether it be in common about the people themselves or about the nature of their disappearance.
Other than they've actually disappeared and they've had no particular reason to. There's been loose mutterings, like one of the assistant shopkeepers was reported to be looking for work elsewhere. One of them was a person that was picking up baked goods and never returned home. And somebody said that she had been friendly with a neighbor, overly friendly, if you get what I mean. But those two had been arguing a lot, and there's a bunch of information that could make it plausible that they disappeared,
but not connected if it was true.
Right. Exactly.
Is there, that's fair. Okay. Well,
I do need
This is
one
why
more.
I'm having trouble solving this.
well,
I do need one more thing from you before I am finished, and that is simply a piece of paper and an ink pen.
And he opens his drawer. He pulls out an inkwell, quill, and a sheet of paper.
Thank you so much. And I start scribbling onto it while everyone else finishes up whatever they need.
Raising her hand. Before I leave, have you heard any information about Silver Badger?
A silver badger. Not particularly. There are probably some animal handlers and folks that practice animal husbandry that you might be able to talk to. Some of the best are employed by the various carriage companies. We have several in the city that are well known.
And one of the
Silver
people were
Steeds.
taken out of their carriages.
Well, I mean, carriage is pretty common way to get around the city.
Do we have to go interview the taxi company?
We might have to, yeah.
You might.
I'll tell you what, Dario. Here's the thing. Look at me, right here. Keep scooch down, right here. There you go. Things are gonna get bad again. Things always get bad again. The next time things get so bad that you think there's no other way out, my name is Tony Fibonacci. You probably never heard of me. But when things get that bad, you quit your fucking job and you come find me.
Why do I imagine Tony is just like in a pinstripe suit with a fedora?
See, I'm getting
Yeah.
penguin
Like a
vibes.
cigar in his mouth, but okay, it looks like a cigar cigarette.
A little monocle. Where's my monocle? Do I have a monocle?
Just like, now that the option's presented, I'm hoping that you'll figure something out. This is all I've known. As you look over him, despite like all of the signs of stress that he's showing, he's probably about 60 years old. He's been doing this his entire life. You get that sense. So this is like a huge crisis for him.
Yeah. It's called the sunk cost fallacy. The longer you put energy and time into a thing, the more you feel like you got to stick to that thing through to the end. And so eventually you start making bad decisions when you should have just cut bait and moved on.
That might very well be. I just don't know what else I can do.
You hope
And
for
I'm
the best.
sure that the stink of this would follow me wherever I go.
Oh, well, then that sounds like you need to open a tavern. Oh, you mean like the politics? I thought you meant the booze.
No, the politics. The booze I can deal
yeah.
with.
Yeah.
And maybe you
Okay.
want to open a tavern so you can
Yeah,
do
open a
more
tavern.
with booze.
Maybe I don't know. And he reaches down and pulls out the remainder of the bottle and he empties the last of these. Like,
Maybe
after
not
this-
a tavern. Maybe not.
after this, I'm gonna go dry. And he finishes the last of what was in there. And he rubs his face. Oh, is there anything else I can do for you?
Just get
There
some.
is. Come back. Let me know. If there's any stumbling point that you get to, one of those coins that I gave you should help. It should help open some doors, maybe. And God's help you. And God's help me.
Yeah.
I I fold the letter I've been writing, grab any lit candle to pour wax onto it, and use my ring to seal it.
He when he sees you looking for candle, he'll take out his stuff and be like, he has a stick of silver sealing wax, and he'll be like, "Do you need this? You're welcome to use
That'll
it."
work. And yes, I seal the.
It's not his seal, so
It's my seal on my ring.
there you go.
If everybody else has had their questions, I think we should get going. I have a couple ideas of where we could potentially start.
Yeah. I'm gonna very dramatically do the somatic and verbal components of the spell sleep, which is not a spell that I know because I am in fact a barbarian and not a spellcaster. You just
He's-
take a nap.
he's gonna go over and open up his window and kind of push the curtains out.
What are you fucking doing?
No. It's easy. He opens up the curtains and kind of takes some papers from his desk and fans at the window a bit.
There you go. Yeah.
You small man, you're very smart for someone whose wit seems to be as sharp as a club.
Hey, every tool's got a use.
Scarlett just druid crafts a little gust of wind. Just to kind of like help him.
Appreciate that. That's helpful. And after that he'll walk you guys to his door and
as we're all being funneled out, I'm gonna hand him the letter and tell him not to open until we've left the building, preferably not for another 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. And he'll kind of tuck that into his pocket and all right, will do.
Who are we gonna go beat up?
You guys head out, come down the stairs. You can see a couple. One of the officers at the desk is gone, and the other two are just kind of smiling, but you notice one of them just rolls their eyes because the two people that were arguing about who was louder are still there.
Arguing about who's louder.
And they're progressively getting louder, and every now and again he's like, shh, easy, let's keep it down. We got other work going on here. And they quiet down, and then they inevitably build back up again.
Scarlett sees this and walks over in all 7'11" of her barbarianness and just crosses her arms and looks at the two of them.
They're arguing. They don't notice you at all for a while, and until
have silence.
The officer kind of looks up at you, and he's like a step or two up above the two individuals arguing, so he's in between your height. And they pause a second, and they look to him, and then they look back over to you, and are like, "Is there something we can help you with?"
Yeah. You can figure your stuff out somewhere else and let these people do their job because you're not helping.
They look at each other and look to him, and he's standing there, he's smiling, but his eyes are like all, glazed over, just kind of nodding. And it takes a moment, and he says, honestly, this isn't our realm of expertise. If you guys can go talk about it outside, unless there's like violence in between you two, then we have no business in this. And if there is violence, that's when you come to us. But I hope it doesn't come to that. You guys are neighbors. I hope you get along and figure it out. And both the ladies look very put out, very disgruntled, and they're like, "We want to see the inspector."
Karens.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he goes, "The inspector is busy right now. I can make an appointment for you two in. Let me hold on a second." He flips through a page. 3 days.
Like 6 to 8 business weeks. That man cannot. No, not right now. I'll take you to see him. You follow me.
They're like, 3 days. We need this handled now. We're gonna go write a letter to the mayor, and they huff off.
Make sure you use your local library for a dictionary.
Thesaurus.
Like, I don't know. I think they could use with both.
Now, I think one of our best routes, if we are looking specifically for the mayor's son's fiance, who went missing is to find out what we can about the last party he held. Maybe something there could give us insight on the matter, or better yet, could give us some dirty laundry that we might use to leverage against the mayor's son directly. In which case, if that doesn't work, of course, I'd only use that in the case of if my gentle smile and charisma doesn't help along the way. And if neither of those work, I'm sure someone over here has more aggressive manners.
I've got
Scarlett-
a gentle smile and some persuasion right here.
Scarlett's like, why would we use soiled clothing against them?
Because nobody likes when you air their dirty laundry out for the public to see.
Remember the guy upstairs? He opened the window because everything was all stinky, right? Because he didn't want that in his office.
But that goes
Okay.
again.
Scarlett's just very confused. She's like, I want. She would wash her clothes and like put them on a rock to dry. Like she doesn't know what. Like, why are you using soiled clothes? I don't get it.
We didn't talk about metaphors. That's the. Hang on. Like bust out a little notebook. Things to teach Scarlett: metaphors, similes, and other analogies. All right.
So,
Ari's just gonna duck down and look at what you're writing. It's like, what are all those?
It's the lesson plans.
so
She
the
seems
options
doing
that,
fine.
or potential options that you were given, were going to speak with the former adventurer, talking to the mayor and or the mayor's son, or seeing if you can get a hold of the girl's parents.
Where'd the guy go? The guy that was here when we went upstairs, but we came back and he's gone.
Do you ask the other guys at the counter?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he went to go tear his hair out in the back room.
Oh, okay. Is he still back there? Could you just real quick go check and just kind of get eyes on him real quick?
Sure. Did you need him for something?
No. I just want to make sure he's
He's
not missing.
the guy that's missing is the guy that you had talked to guide you upstairs. So
Oh, yeah, no.
he's like, yeah, sure. Hold on a second. And he goes back. He goes, hey, Paul. There's a group out here looking for you.
We ain't looking
And
for
he
him.
go,
We just wanna
and
make
he
sure.
just goes, oh my God, are the other ones gone? Yeah, they went and fucked off already. They said they were gonna go talk to the mayor or something. He's like, thank God, they're gonna be his problem.
Excellent. Yeah. All right, cool. No, just wanted to make sure Paul was still like around.
Oh,
Did not
okay.
disappear.
Yeah.
No, because
People
my DM
dipping out on
was
their
like, that
duties, that's all.
that motherfucker is going to be the most recent one who went missing, and then it's going to turn out like 3.5 hours from now. We're like, we should have asked about him. We got to track
You
him.
will. All of the individuals that were listed were not constables at all.
Okay.
They were all common folk. They weren't even like shop owners. They were like assistants to the shop owners and stuff like that.
Mm.
People no one would
Except
really know.
for the fiance, which the name that was given for her was. There we go. It's Myra Bellmeyer. And I'll put that in chat here.
Now, I will say that while our best leads probably would be talking to the mayor's son directly. If not, talking to her parents would be our better lead. The mayor himself probably won't be much help. In fact, would probably cause more problems if he found out that we're taking on a job he had set for someone else, who then passed that job on to another person. Trust me, when you try to delegate and that delegation becomes a delegation, it becomes a mindful of issues.
Yeah.
Regardless, if those of you wish to find information on the mayor's son, probably be best. I know my way around the silver billets, and therefore could possibly gain information on her parents easier.
Stoke would know that from this location, the dojo where Gundahar lives and teaches classes out of is the closest. It in directly the opposite direction is the Silver Billet, but it's a little bit further away. It's about twice as far away. And the mayoral mansion area is probably twice as far away as the Silver Billet from this location.
Okay.
So, mayoral mansion is 5, Gundar's dojo is 6, and the Silver Billet is number 3.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, who do we think's gonna lie the least?
I don't think we can judge it based on that. Although I don't know that the mayor's going to have much to say.
Oh no, he's gonna lie the most. He's a politician.
That's not what I'm worried about. Let me put it this way, all right? Unless the mayor's involved, I can't think of any reason why he would have any useful information.
I completely agree.
That being said, maybe he is involved. I mean, this is the city with no crime. Who better to get away with something like this than the guy in charge of it all?
Mm-hmm.
I forget, don't bounty hunters have some sort of feature or something like that where they can...
Yup.
Urban, or am I thinking of
No. I have a feature called Ear to the Ground.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it.
Doesn't
Was
that
there-
give you a contact?
Or that might be criminal or spy has like a criminal contact, because I think Kaylin has that in her background. See, what this sounds like is this sounds like two different things going on, where either if there's one thing going on, then the people doing the first thing got real stupid because they were grabbing people nobody cared about, and then all of a sudden they grabbed somebody real high profile, which is dumb. Or there's people grabbing up common folk, and then there's someone else who's like, hey, people are going missing. We could grab up this girl in the midst of this.
You
and
think
make
it could
look
be a
like it's all the
copycat
same thing."
crime?
Yeah.
Not a bad call, but I think we should investigate it as though it's all part of the same thing. Only because, in my experience, it's a lot harder to start with the assumption that this is unique. If you treat it as though they are all part of the same thing, if the one you're looking for is a copycat, you'll find it out you'll figure it out at some point. But at the very least, you have a lot more leads treating it as though everyone left the same way.
Yeah, there was this guy actually from this town that I grew up in. His name was Bobby. He was a barber, and he had a thing called Bobby's razor. He said the simplest explanation is usually correct.
I like that. Bobby's razor. I'm going to have to use that.
The inspector would have told you that that Gundahar, it was about a week before the party where he did his investigation on the common folk. And he hit it. Not that he didn't find anything, he just hit a dead end in his investigation.
Well, then who do we think we're going to get the best, most actionable information out of about the girl? Because if he hit a dead end prior to that, this is the newest, freshest information.
The
And if we
son
can
was the
chase
last
this-
one to talk to her, was he?
My recommendation is unfortunately going to come from personal experience. I would say we hit up the Silver Billet first. People are going to have the loosest slips there. But that being said, that's also because I am more likely to get people to talk in that environment. Someone like our good friend Trico over here might actually have more luck talking up people up at the mansion. I certainly couldn't even get in the door, much less get people to talk to me there.
Trico, you would know that the Silver Billet, as far as inns go, it is very high end. If it's not the mayoral mansion, it's pretty darn close.
Hey, just because they're expensive
Also-
drunks doesn't mean they're not drunks.
Also, you would know that you would have to do some fancy talking to even get one of the inspector's coins to work there for a night.
So, Trico wanted to talk to the parents first, right?
Tricos was going to talk to the mayor's son.
The mayor's
I
son, that's right.
hate
And
myself.
then
I was muted
I
this
think-
entire time and been talking.
Oh,
Oh,
I have been
Trico, don't-
talking for 30
Trico.
minutes.
Trico, don't hate yourself. You're a bard. There's plenty of other people that can hate you for you. Don't hate yourself.
I was going to say, absolutely. I believe that I believe that our best bets would actually be splitting our efforts between finding information about the mayor's son, whose name I keep forgetting because I'm bad at this, and then talking directly with her parents. I can slip my way through the Silver Billet as I have been there before. Not easily. It is very classy and high end. In fact, Snoke, I'm not sure you're thinking of the right place. No offense. But that being said, it is a difficult place to get into, even when you are affluent. If I can slide my way in there, I can speak with her parents without any issue. But I can't be in two places at once.
You know what I found that rich people love is watching poor people beat the hell out of each other. So if we need a way to get in there, I could offer my services as entertainment.
Honestly, your strength would probably be best used at the dojo directly. Nothing meets a man's arrogance more than challenging it.
That's true. Let's do it.
EV unit,
Also,
roll
it is
me
Triton, not
a
Triton.
history check.
Okay. See if I can find it in the popped out version.
Actually, wait, let me look at your note real quick. I forget.
How does this character sheet work?
So we're all standing out in the road while this is happening.
Like outside, just out front of the garrison, the central garrison.
Is
There's
there
foot
a
traffic
food
around.
stall close by? Because if there is, while this entire conversation has been happening, Scarlett would have been over getting food.
Look, if you want churros, we're gonna get you churros. We're gonna get that drizzly sauce on them. I know. Yeah, we're gonna get it.
She's like, she's not a decision maker. She just goes where Ptony wants to go. So like, if she
Yeah, there's
smells food.
There's a decent market around here, and in the very center, there's a big fountain.
This is probably about the time, by the way, that Dario would open the letter. It just says in it that that I apologize for having to charm him in such a manner. I was worried that he would have made a rash decision otherwise, and we are still on his side regardless. And that'll also be about the time that the charm person spell wears off, and he'll be aware that he was charmed the entire time.
All right, I'll make note of that.
Ari's, her cloak is gonna turn into something that looks very ornate and very fancy, something worthy of like the silver bullet, or like the fancy part of town.
I'm usually wearing my fine clothing anyways.
I'm not.
I'm not either, but
I got a fancy stick. That's about it.
So, Stoke, you have met Gundahar. He's not an arrogant man. He's very calm, collected, and he enjoys teaching people of all ages martial arts and meditation for peace of mind and things of that nature. I'm going. Was that? That was a history check. Um, I misspoke. It should have been an insight.
Oh,
But
okay.
you can re-roll that if you want.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I'm better with insight.
So everything you knew, you don't know.
You know what? That sounds normal for me, out of character. So
And if you didn't know, now you know.
Hey, you know.
That's
All right.
now
Your measure of the man would be that he wouldn't give up on something like this, especially if the general public were going missing, because of the just his mannerisms and how he behaved.
Mm.
I don't know that. That's okay.
I'll share it with you.
Oh,
You know it now.
well, see now this is an interesting quandary, because why does a man who doesn't give up on things give up on things? But normally I would say he was threatened. But who could threaten and intimidate a man like Gundahar, as you've described him?
The mayor. But I doubt that it's him because he's the one that's put so much pressure on him to fix this.
Well, see now
So-
here's the problem. This is where Tony and Tony are crossing up. Is a problem. Sometimes when you're a politician, you create a problem so that you can solve the problem. And so maybe the girl has gone missing because the mayor wants her missing. Maybe these people have gone missing because the mayor wants them missing. And of course the mayor can't let this go uninvestigated. So he's putting pressure on the investigation, which he of course knows is not going to be solved because he knows exactly what's going on.
Also remember that the two families, the mayor's family and this wealthy merchant family, they've been friends for a long time.
They grew up together. Yeah, you
Consider another thing.
fuck,
if we are-
Tony's a
instead
conspiracy
of-
theorist now.
I think that
Yeah.
standing here jabberjawing about what might be happening is less useful to us than just going to one of these locations and asking around.
I am
We
going
don't
to head
know
towards the Silver Billet either way. I'll be back here at this location in about 2 days' time if the rest of you do not follow. I think that's the best
Understood.
time to meet back up.
I'm
However,
gonna-
I will say we are focusing very heavily on a singular case on the matter and not considering it as an overarching situation. No one said one of the almost similar things seems to be a want to leave. Like even if it is subtle, the woman who left for bread and then come back supposedly was having an affair or some sort, simply wanting to leave an argument, leaving a situation, leaving a relationship. That might be the key here as well. And if her parents, and if this merchant's parents can lead us into any information that might lead to a similar situation with her, we're on the right path. And if it's completely separate, then we need a new key feature.
I'll be honest. It's worth asking about, but it's pretty shaky. It's worth asking about, though. You're right on that front. It's the best we got.
Mhm.
So you're going to the Silver Billet.
Absolutely.
And Silver Billet's about probably a 20-minute walk away. I'd
Is
say Gundahar's 5 to 10-minute walk away.
is
And
it,
then
where's the Thieves Guild in town?
there isn't one.
That's
There's no
not what you
crime.
said in my journal.
There's no crime here.
What you said in my journal is that the Thieves Guild doesn't cause problems, which means
How
there
is
is one.
Gundahar so much
No,
closer?
it doesn't cause.
Oh, the neighboring Thieves Guild.
Yes,
Mm,
they can't. The neighboring, all the thieves guilds in the area from different cities, they have no reach into the city.
Okay.
mm.
Is there?
Oh,
I
that's-
know that the Silver Billet isn't.
They've
in-
tried. You know that they've tried, and they've
Is-
not been able to maintain it
I
in
understand
the
that there's.
past.
I understand that this town is rather crimeless, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't have people down on their luck. Is there a more seedier side of the city that I might like? It maybe in the warehouse district that I could go trawl around alleys and come back in a couple days with what I find.
Yeah, you could go there.
I mean, we're just information gathering. I'm not gonna.
Mhm.
If a fight breaks out and it's not something I can take care of on my own, I'm fucking booking it.
I mean,
They're
from the way the
paying
map
me to find stuff out, not to die.
from the way the map looks, I'd assume that the artisan district would be the most likely to have
Starving
Oh,
artists.
starving artists, have a lot of lower income housing.
No, because artisan in the nature of this is going to be your skilled laborers, your blacksmiths, and stuff like that. They
Mm.
may be blue collar, but they make good money. Those are going to be people who have enough that they were able to pay to open their own shop rather than work for someone else.
Mm.
No, the warehouse district is more likely to have them because that is going to be people who either are day laborers or are here from out of the city.
Mm.
Ari's gonna step closer to the satyr, kind of just indicating that they're gonna go with him.
So are we splitting the party?
Yes.
No.
For information gathering purposes.
I do not think more than 2 people are necessary for the silver billet.
I was
I-
gonna say, well, yeah. So if you want to go get rough and tumble in the warehouse district, get a couple barbarians ain't gonna hurt your chances, and
Here's-
the smooth talkers can handle the silver billet.
Here's the important thing. We're all going around this other way. We're going to find our own stuff. We agreed to meet back up in a couple days' time with what we find. If one of us needs help, how are we reaching out to each other?
Real loud.
I don't think that's going to be a great idea in my situation. If I'm in trouble, that'll just draw a crowd, which is not what I want.
We want to talk to Gandahar.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
All right, so we are splitting. One group going to Gundahar. So that'll be what? Scarlett, Ptony, and Stoke, and then Trico and Ari are going to Silver Billet. Yes.
2 people are better than one.
Especially
Alrighty.
when
Better
people
than
are
one,
going
but-
missing.
More than that would cause stumbling over words.
I can be quiet.
Alrighty.
No, that's not the issue.
Let's see.
I can't, so you go. What I lack in height, I
Pat.
make up for in volume.
Pat the cobalt on the dragon on the head.
Thank you. And it's this thing too. He has, what did we describe them as? Like little pin scales on the back of his spine. If you
Mhm.
like scratch or pat his head, they kind of go up like the way
Like
a
how an
cat's tail
iguana
and it-
has the little spines that can move on its back.
it just happens-
It's like that.
Yeah, you pat him on the head and those scales kind of twitch like and you're like, oh, he's happy.
Okay. Well, we will start off with the Silver Billet.
Yeah.
There we go. Alrighty. There we go. I'm guessing not all of you can see that, huh?
No. But that's
I just
probably
black
because you
screen
have
on.
Fog of War on.
That and you don't have. I'll put your tokens on the map so you can actually see what's going on.
I
Or
can see it on
actually,
Twitter.
yeah.
I believe you.
Oh, there we go.
Alrighty.
Popped in for me, but everything popped in for me.
Yep, I just changed it.
Okay.
So, you come up. Let's see. Oop, that's the wrong window. All right. That's a little on the loud side. There you go. So you come up. It's a rather large inn, with two buildings connected with a small walkway in between the two. Lots of outside seating. Some individuals are seated out on the deck areas, and very well maintained um, stone structure or brick structure. The bricks are a light gray in color, and it appears to have some quartz in it, so they kind of glitter a bit to add to the name. So you are welcome to go where you want to go.
I am going to walk inside if possible.
Okay.
This is considered a wall.
Oh. Yep.
There should be a door. Oh yeah, you have to go up the stairs.
I can't. Thank you. It's considering the stair as a wall,
Shouldn't be.
and the door is a wall as well.
Is it just walls to me because I'm short?
You can surpass any wall you come across. You've got the heart of a warrior.
So I use my breath weapon on it.
Every line is considered a wall.
Is it because of the way the lighting is set up?
It's because this place is so fancy you can't get in at all.
Has to go like one step at a time.
You're not rich enough to even perceive the door.
There we go. I'm now where I want to be.
Alrighty. When you go in, you can see there's a Bardley type stage on one
Someone
by
dropped-
where Ari is, or near the table that you're at. So
Yes.
up here. So, what do you wish to do?
I'm going to begin by speaking to the what appears to be a woman that is closest to the bard stage, because typically, in my experience, those that are far from entrances but near entertainment are the most likely to be secluded yet willing to have a conversation.
Okay.
So I'm going to walk up to her, sit down at the on the opposite from her, and simply, so haven't been in here recently, but I don't seem to recognize your face either. This is your first time at this establishment.
She looks up. No, I frequent here quite often, at least when I'm in town.
I understand. It's been a week or so since I've specifically been at this establishment. But you say when you come to town, what do you do? Not often that I hear people that come in and out of town, especially
Oh.
not those that stay at the Silver Billet.
I work for a company that provides high-end spirits for those that can afford.
I
And the
see.
Silver
I
Billet has
understand.
long been a customer.
That does make the most sense, though. Given by your appearance, I would have assumed any other reason. To be honest, you do not seem to fit the aesthetic the other inns typically have around them.
You'll find that very common in this particular inn.
Oh, I am very familiar. How long have you been in town for?
Oh, we got in a couple of days ago.
So you must be preparing to leave yet again if you are merchant selling wares to specific
Indeed.
locations. Very well. I appreciate you taking the time. My name is Try. I'm merely seeking information from those who are staying longer. But do keep an eye out on the roads. There seems to be something in the air.
Always stay careful on the roads. Otherwise, I wouldn't stay in business very long. And the name is Leah. It was good meeting you.
Likewise.
Arisha's gonna nod their head at her.
I'm gonna glance around and see if there's anybody I do recognize from the probably once or twice I've ever actually been able to stay at this inn.
You recognize the person that is behind the bar here.
I figured as much. I was hoping to recognize a patron.
Let's see. Give me a perception check. The individual behind the bar you would recognize as Taya Laraway, who is the owner of the Silver Billet. She's got bob cut platinum blonde hair, green eyes. She's about 5.5 feet tall or so.
That would be a 17.
All right. Let's see. The gentleman sitting over towards the front of the establishment you recognize. And I will say the two individuals out on the porch you would recognize also.
Which gentleman did you say?
In the very front, I'm pinging. I don't know. It's hard to see the ping.
Yeah.
Let me see here. There we go. Let's try that. In the very front of the establishment, he's sitting at a table.
No, I can't tell at all.
Oh, I know where he.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume it's the one
The guy in the corner.
over here. Yeah. Okay. I was
Yep.
I was assuming it's that one just in case. I couldn't see any ping.
Oh,
I
yeah,
ended
it's
up
super
just,
bright.
I ended up looking at every single person closely to figure it out. Like, that looks like a whammon. That looks like a whammon. That's some titties. And you say I recognize this person?
Yeah. Maybe not by name, but you've seen him there quite a bit.
Ah, friend, I recognize you. Were you here? What was it? Week and a half ago or so? I believe I was attempting to perform on stage at that time, and I think I recognized your face from the crowd.
He looks up at you, and you notice the rosy-cheeked and nosed indicators that he's been drinking fairly well, but by his stature, you would recognize him as a dwarf. He's been here, in your experience, every time that you have, almost. He goes, yes, well, I think you look familiar. I'm here nearly every night. If not, every other night, maybe, it'd be more accurate. And some days. It is one of the cleanest and safest establishments to imbibe drink at, and they have the best booze.
I could not agree more. Best booze, best atmosphere, best women. But I will say that there I personally am looking for an acquaintance. And I'm not sure if this is the right location. See, I spend so much of my time hopping from warmest bed to warmest bed that I tend to get confused on when someone's referring to this inn versus others, but I'd like to start here. There's
I'd start here too.
there's a merchant family that I recently became acquainted with. I'm not sure if you've heard of them. Their daughter seemed to have piqued the interest of a very affluent man.
Uh, well, I've known a number of merchant families and they're all fairly well to do. So, did you have a name? At least a family name?
I do. I'm afraid, though, that they are. It is a very sensitive matter, so I was hoping to avoid having to use it. You see, if you're unaware, that could lead to rumors, and you know how rumors can spread.
Oh, certainly, certainly. I
But
I don't
I-
like dealing with rumors.
I can
I like
tell as
dealing with verified information.
you have found one of the cozier corners of this establishment, after all.
And I tell you, many have sunk many a gold coin in trying to loosen these lips with booze. And he boisterously laughs, just like full chest and belly laugh, thinking it a great joke that he has scammed people out of money, trying to get him drunk to spill the beans.
Aw, damn it.
Attempting
Ari's just
to,
gonna chuckle.
attempting to contest a dwarf in a game of drinking would be foolish at the very least. But
I can only tell you, I can only imagine that they thought they had enough gold to outdo my constitution, and they've all been sorely mistaken.
I'm not sure I myself would have enough wherewithal to outdo do you, sir. But I I would be more than happy to give it a try in the future. As I said, though, I am on business at the moment, but
Certainly.
you do seem very friendly. So
I do
I
try
will-
to be, unless you try to take my ale.
would not dream of it. Have you heard of the Belmeyer family?
Oh yes, they frequent this establishment and the city.
Well, I have
And
some business that I must get to regarding their family directly, but I'm having some issues with making my way around, as I personally do not have quite the influence I used to, and I'm beginning to be scoffed at simply for appearing here.
he nods. Sometimes reputation can wax and wane, but stick with it, and like with any business, you'll see it turn around again. As for them, I believe they are in town, but I don't believe they're in today. I think they stepped out earlier.
Ah, any idea where they might have gone to? I'm fairly certain that they do not have a brick and mortar to visit directly.
My guess would either be uh, so, some of the higher end shops here in the Silver Billet or in the Silver District to check on their warehouse, or to go speak with the mayor. And them and the mayor, they've been very comfortable with each other for ages, since
Well,
before they had their children.
as I mentioned, their daughter was getting the eye of an affluent individual.
Oh, yes, their engagement was announced this past weekend. I
Yes.
hear the party was grand.
Yes, I'm still trying to make my way into one. Just I never seem to have the time as when one is being thrown. Um, I do appreciate you for informing me what you could, and I will be sure to get you a drink the next time I'm staying the night. But alas, I do have to get to that business quickly. But
Certainly.
keep
And
me in mind if you happen to see my horns, my ears, my beautiful hair. Uh, just give me a whistle, and I'll be sure to stop by.
that sounds like a grand prospect. Good luck on your business.
Um,
Hmm.
I would be more than willing to leave with just that information.
Okay.
Prying everyone's ears can lead to rumors spreading quickly.
Yep.
But
Alrighty.
I also would like to know what Ari wishes to do, because I kind of took the full front of that.
Oh no, you're good. Um, just in Dwarvish, Ari's gonna thank him for his time.
The fact that you spoke in Dwarvish, he gets a big grin on his face, which is hard to see. You just see his beard and mustache kind of curl a little bit and raise at the outsides, and he will respond in typically in this world at least. Dwarven cultures have common turns of phrase. When there's a greeting, there's a common turn of phrase to respond to that greeting with. There's a handful of them of varying formalities, and he gives you one it's not quite, you know, extremely formal. It's kind of mid tier as far as formality goes. He found that very pleasant and amusing to have somebody greet him that way.
Ari's just gonna nod her head and respond like the formal, like the mid tier formalness of like, bye.
And he waves and he'll continue on his drink.
Just gonna.
I'm in Ari. I do have a suggestion.
Mhm.
There are three places we could go for more information, but we must speak with the Belmeyer family as soon as possible.
I
Either
agree.
we should go to the mayor, which means that we would be dealing with both the mayor and the Belmeyers simultaneously, or we walk around the shops nearby and attempt to wander across them while we're there, or we stay here and wait for them to return, as this does seem to be the location they spend their nights when they are doing so.
We should probably try the shops because they're a bit closer.
I do agree that that is a good idea. I also think that mayhaps having one of us search through the shops while the other does remain here would be just as
Mhm.
proactive.
If you want, I can search the shops. You seem to know more people here.
If that
Another
is,
option, you could also ask around to see, or you could either ask random individuals or the owner when they were expected back, and to leave them. You know, it's common for them to take notes saying, "Hey, so and so was looking for you and would like to, speak to you." Just saying.
I'm
may not be a bad idea either.
Ari's gonna raise her hand at the barkeep.
All right, she looks up, and you notice the slightly muted half elven ears of this woman. She appears to be in her 60s, but a very unweathered 60, as one might imagine from a half elf. She smiles. She's like, what can I do for you? And she casts a glance
Good evening, Miss Laraway. Lovely as ever.
Kind of looks over the both of you real quick, kind of giving a quick assessment. How may I help you? And you, I think I have seen.
I have been here a few times.
Name starts with the T.
It is Try.
Trichotos.
Very
Something of.
quite indeed. And you,
Yes,
Mrs.
good.
Laraway, have not aged a day.
Well, thank you kindly for saying so. How is it I may help the two of you?
Could we leave a message for the look at Try and just like
The Belmeyer merchants.
Oh, you're acquainted with them?
We have business with them. Specifically, we have business regarding their daughter.
Oh, are you looking to play for the pending nuptials, or perhaps the reception party?
That has been on my mind, but there's more personal matter that we cannot get into the details on.
Certainly.
Simply, if you may inform them that there is a couple individuals. I will be staying here in the bar, honestly. I quite like the music and might pop up and perform again if you are so willing. But we are simply here to have a conversation with them in regards to their daughter, and that is about as much information as we can provide right now, but that should be all they need to hear.
She takes a moment and thinks, I can take that message for them, and well, since it's about the daughter and perhaps the wedding, I know their intent was to head to the mayor's office today. I think it was for planning of some sort. Lady Colette, she seemed rather upset, and Sai, her husband, he was rather stony faced. They're both rather jovial, so I imagine something fell through. Or perhaps something went embarrassingly awry at the party. We know that boy.
He does tend to have a loose lip, doesn't he?
He says all manner of things. I think most of us are hoping that marrying the girl will help temper him some. She has a good head on her shoulders, and he's a bit of a wild being.
With any luck, that will be the case. But yes, this is a personal and urgent matter on the fact. But I do know that it might not be something that they wish to have public knowledge yet. That is why I'm trying.
I would recommend heading to the mayor's. That they said to forward their things there, and I just had a carriage take their luggage to the mayoral mansion.
Ah, well, that does save us some time, I suppose. How long ago had they left from here, anyways?
They left before having breakfast.
All right, so
I would say this is before lunchtime right now, so it was still dark. Just budding light over the walls of the city.
And side note, how long would it take approximately for us to leave from here to get to the mayor's?
If you take a carriage, it'll be really quick. It'll take about.
Yeah.
It'll take by carriage. It'll probably take 30 minutes or so.
All right. So they've had time to get there and discuss with the mayor to begin with already. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it is much appreciated. Given the urgency of our matter, I may not be able to stay as long as I had wished to originally. All right, I shall try to return then. I do quite enjoy your establishment. It is one of my favorites.
That is what we aim to make it. My staff and I have worked very hard to do so.
I'll leave any other questions to Ari.
Do you know where we can find a carriage?
Actually, if you just wait out on the road, they, oh crap. I forgot the name.
A true DM.
Just make one up on the spot.
Ah, there we go. The Silver Steeds, they frequent around here. In fact, you might be able to catch one outside. They usually have a carriage on standby.
Alrighty. Ari's just gonna nod at that, and then
Should
walk
they
out.
come back, I will let them know that you were looking for them.
I do appreciate it quite a lot. And, just between us, Taya, when will you have another opening for the stage?
Whenever somebody steps down.
Alright, I figured as much. It seems like every other time I step in here, someone's managed to get in right before me.
It's a very desired spot. In fact, we do have a second stage in the other side of the building, so there is potential for you to have twice the chance. But people usually are quick to take those up.
Of course. Thank you. Do have a wonderful day.
And you as well. All right. You head outside, and there is indeed a carriage there. It is kind of a dark wood covered carriage with a two silver S's, and one of them looks like it's flowing off the mane of a horse. You've probably seen, Trico has seen these carriages around as well. They are known as the Silver Steeds, and they are probably one of the more expensive carriage rides.
Well, this is to be expected.
It's an expensive area.
I simply stand, my hand gestured out, attempting to get their attention.
Oh, how did you distribute the? Well, you got one, Trico. You got one of the inspector's coins. What did we do with the other three?
I thought we had each gotten one, and I had gotten an extra, because that's why
No.
He offered
he
three
gave us-
to begin with,
Okay.
and then you got an extra one, so there's a total of 4.
Snoke is definitely holding on to at least one.
Ari can be holding on to one.
Okay.
That
I guess
way
the real
each
question
group
is,
has
who
2.
doesn't have one?
Tony doesn't have one.
Tony doesn't need one.
Okay.
Tony's good enough
Is
on
it-
his own.
I got my.
Okay,
I am
so-
a token.
Each of you, Tony and Ari have one, and then
Token.
Sorry,
Gold.
yeah. Tony and
Hold
Stoke
on,
have one,
Hold on to this for me.
And-
Here you go.
and then Trico and Ari have the other ones. All right, just wanted to make sure.
I guess I should
All
have
right.
asked ahead of time before we even started if we had pocket change.
Yes, what you got from your background.
I think 15. Yeah, I think I have 15 gold.
I have 20.
You've been in the
Okay.
city a while and you've been playing, so and I would say you've probably been playing mostly at Maryland's Bunkhouse, which it's not a bad establishment. It's actually mid-tier, and they see a lot of traffic. Even if they're not as wealthy, they're warehouse managers, sometimes the central or the constables stop in there. That's their favorite place to kind of head. So, roll me a d10. Actually, 2d10. This is for like the past couple of weeks.
I don't think Ari would have much gold.
Could be better, could be worse.
You got 100 gold.
All right. That is appreciated.
Yeah, Ari.
I think I'd have like 2 gold at max from my background, maybe.
Yeah, you got whatever's left in from whatever you've built up.
I take from the woods, I give back to the woods.
Yeah.
I don't really need gold or
Yeah.
money.
I did not know wood was below copper for coins.
There isn't.
It's just wooden nickels.
A hay
So-
penny.
Alrighty. So you guys are going to grab a carriage, or are you gonna walk?
I believe we can afford a carriage this time.
They look. The carriage driver hops down and opens the door, and he holds his hand out. It's 10 gold per passenger.
Very well. Don't worry. I have this for now. And I pay the man what he's owed, plus 2 extra for the trouble.
He nods and thanks, and once you guys climb up inside, he'll shut the door. You'll hear some clinking into a metal box, because he's got a nice strong box affixed to the carriage. Oh, where? And he'll open a window. Where will it be?
We have business with the mayor directly.
Ah,
We're heading towards this man.
certainly. All right, take it easy, and we'll get you there with a quickness. And we will bounce over to the others.
All
So
right.
what I'm saying is we should start a fire at the warehouse that the Bellmeyers own, and then that'll draw them out. And then wait, no,
I can do that.
but no, I mean we can. It's not a terribly good idea though.
I think let's not do that.
Aw.
Well,
Like
well,
you can see that Scarlett had like a little bit of fire like started in her hand and just like snuffs out.
I tell you what, we could keep it as a backup plan.
Okay.
You know, in a brainstorming session, not every idea has to be good. You need ideas to throw out so that you can realize and recognize when the idea is actually good.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you guys were heading to Gundahar's, correct?
Yeah, we're heading to the dojo.
Alrighty. Let's take a peek at that, make sure that's good to go. Delete.
There's a map. There's a map. There's a map. There's a map. There's a map.
Go.
The question is when you scroll in on the map, how do you move around?
Arrow keys.
I tried
Or
that.
right-
and It doesn't.
Right click and drag.
Oh, okay. And I assume that if I drag it up, it'll pull me that way.
Yeah.
Okay. I was confused.
All right. So you make it. What the heck? All right. So you make it to the dojo.
Oh wow!
and something-
We were just raided. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I give him a
Sex
shout out.
Legends.
Hey, welcome in.
Hello there.
Thank you,
Welcome to the
welcome in.
chaos. There's
Yeah.
totally no arson going on here. Promise.
Yet.
No.
Oh.
Shh. If you talk about it in advance, then it's premeditated.
So something Snoke would notice is that this time of day, the dojo's windows would be all open and the doors would be open. The sounds of kind of hand-to-hand combat would be happening. All the windows are buttoned up. The front door's closed, and it is quiet.
Hmm.
Okay. Well then.
Let me crack these little dragon knuckles here real quick, okay?
That was a sound in response to that.
Excitement.
All right, look. If things get hairy, you're the muscle.
I appreciate your vote of confidence. She's the
Yeah.
muscle.
No, what do you mean? She's range support. She's gonna toss you at them, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
She's the fighter. I'm the weapon.
Gonna abacure this shit.
That's right. A beast.
So
It's not the,
additionally-
it's a beast.
It's dark. You said there's not a lot. There's nothing. It doesn't look like there's a lot of activity.
there's no candles on inside. You know that from being around here before, that all of the windows are more like, there's no glass windows. They're all shuttered. So he doesn't have to open anything. He can just open them up after unlocking them from the inside and let air flow through and all that stuff.
Okay.
So
I want to. Go ahead.
Woo.
is this like normal hours of operation?
Yes.
Oh, cool. I can
Normally
just
it'd be
arrow keys
lively.
it. Man, it's dark. I don't see
you
a
guys
door. Is this the door?
If you get close, you should see part of a door.
Is this the door or is this the door?
Woo.
Which one's the door?
This one.
Oh,
You should be able to click on that.
well, nothing to it but to do it.
And the door opens. Front door's not locked.
I see something from where I'm standing that immediately makes me reach to my weapon and just grab the hilt. We may have a problem here.
Oh, good. We solve problems. I'm gonna get my quarterstaff and shield.
I can't go through that.
Is that the problem?
Oh, wait. Okay. Did you just drag me in?
Yep,
Okay. Yeah.
I can do that because I'm DM.
Ah. All right. Time to split up, gang. Look for clues.
I
Um.
want to
Scar-
investigate
Scarlett's
the
got her
sheer.
sword out. No,
Wait.
I am gonna investigate the ceiling. And she
What?
touches the ceiling.
So-
yeah.
In the dojo, Scarlett's gonna have some issues walking around. Like her head is skimming the rafters that the above floor are sitting on. So there'll be no jumping for her. But she's not having to duck or crouch or anything like that. In the room, you see a counter again to your right as you enter the door. There's benches that sit below the two locked and boarded windows. And there are two training dummies. They're basically logs with smaller logs stuffed in the side, and they look like they've been like battered.
That makes sense.
They're all smooth and they're just pounded in. They look polished smooth in the areas where they've been normally hit.
Okay.
Cushions for meditation, as well as an altar, where there's a empty unlit incense bowl. To the left of that is a weapon rack with training weapons, and there's a small chest to the right of the altar, as well as stairs to go upstairs.
All right. First things first. Oh wait, is that blood that I see?
Yes.
Okay.
How's that? Okay.
Because I was like, that
We're all just sitting
wasn't
there
mentioned
patiently
in your
waiting.
description. I wanted to make sure.
So that's blood. I mean, I'm
You
pretty
see
sure it's
a
blood. It might
decent
not be.
pool of blood. And whatever happened there, somebody put. It's hard to justify
That
somebody
much.
walking away from that much blood.
Is there a trail?
There are some streaks near the in between the pool and the small chest to the side of the altar.
I guess my question is it like the amount of blood that Ptony would be dead, or the amount of blood that Scarlett would be dead?
Well, Ptony would probably be dead for that much blood.
Snoke
But an actual dragonborn might survive.
is
A real dragon would be fine.
Snoke.
I'll be fine. I'm gonna
Snoke?
sniff the blood. Smells like brass. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Snoke wants to take out his rapier and edge closer to the chest. Be like, I'm not sure what's about to happen, but I've heard things, and you know, hanging around bars, you hear a lot of drunk, crazy nut jobs say things, but sometimes you think they just might be right. And I poke the chest with the sword.
An actual attack poke or just probing poke?
That is an important question.
A probing poke. I mean, if it's anything other than wood, it will go in, but I'm not trying to break a wooden chest.
Okay. So two things happen.
Roll initiative.
One, roll me a dexterity save.
Oh no!
And two, roll me an attack.
Oh, okay. Okay, fuck this. Pop in. The popped out version of this sheet is terrible.
As you anger the chest, Tony's like, I got this dagger. I could have just thrown it from here. I mean,
Really? That's my...
That was bad.
Yeah! On a +7! Ha! Where was that one roll ago?
So,
so you die, but you kill it.
So the first one, that was your dex. Oh yeah. So
Wow.
that was the altar one. You see. Yeah, let's do this.
Oh, okay.
Ever
Did
picked a
anybody
lock
notice
with
what
thermite
Himbo
before?
just did in chat?
What's up?
Oh,
I have Twitch right now.
Oh,
fine.
that's
We haven't rolled
supposed to-
initiative yet. It doesn't count.
That's supposed to be with advantage.
It's combat only.
I'll roll again. So does 19 hit you?
Let me double check. Where the hell's my AC? There's my AC. Yeah, 19 hits.
Okay, so as you're poking at the chest, the altar reaches out and touches you. Why didn't that go?
God, I
Oh.
feel like I'm back in Catholic school.
Four 11s. 11 damages.
Okay. Do I need
And now everybody roll initiative.
do I need to do damage against the chest or no?
What was your attack again?
A nat 20?
Was it?
Nat 20.
Yeah, roll. Oops. Yeah, roll damage against the chest.
All right, cool. My feature enhanced critical, since this is dealing slashing damage, is going to say that whatever the chest is has disadvantage on all attacks until the start of my next turn.
Oh, nice. So the chest has
Turns out it's just been a
disadvantage.
normal chest this entire time, and you're just being stabbed in the back by somebody.
Apparently.
No, it would have been hilarious if the chest was just a chest, and the altar is like, everybody stabs my friend. It's like the altar's like emotional support rock. And they're like,
So critical
The
hit.
chest is a chest. The lock on it is a mimic.
Eight,
the lock,
eight
the
damage.
hinges, all of the metal
8
on
damage.
the wood is
Already.
wood.
The
All
coins
of
in
the
your
metal
pouch.
pieces are
And,
individual mimics.
So
Love
I am going to just say I have that, and I'm going to use my once per turn on for. Oh, yeah, it just posted both. Fine. I'm using both parts of that.
Said 8. Sorry, what was that?
I hit a creature with an attack that deals slashing damage. Its speed is
Okay.
reduced by 10 feet, and it's rolling at disadvantage on attack rolls.
Okay.